extensor compartment, right? When you stand in the anatomical position and look at your lower limb, whatever you are seeing in front is the extensor compartment. Remember, it is opposite. Whatever you are seeing in front is the extensor compartment. Whatever you are seeing on the back side is the flexor compartment. Okay. Now you have the thigh region, leg region, and the foot region. So whatever you are seeing in front of the thigh is the extensor compartment of the thigh. Extensor compartment is the leg, and you are seeing this one. Thank you, Kunal. This one as the dorsum of the foot. Okay. This is we call it as dorsum of the foot. Same way, when you come to the back flexor compartment of the thigh, which is extending from the hip joint to the knee joint, flexor compartment of the leg from the knee joint to the ankle joint, right? And this is called the sole of the foot. So we call it as dorsum, and this is the sole of the foot. Okay. Now, what is the difference in the lower limb apart from this? What I told you, from the this is in the thigh region. Compared to the arm, you are seeing the arm region, there is a flexor compartment and extensor compartment in the arm, right? In the thigh region, we are having an additional compartment. Now there are three compartments. One is extensor compartment, another is the flexor compartment of the thigh, okay? And the medial compartment, it is called adductor compartment. So in the thigh region, there are three compartments which is different from the arm. There is an extensor compartment or anterior compartment, flexor compartment or the posterior compartment, and medial or adductor compartment. Okay? So three compartments are there, and each compartment has nerves, blood vessels, and muscles. But it is very easy to remember. What you have to know is extensor compartment. There is a nerve which supplies all the muscles of the extensor compartment. We call it as nerve of the extensor compartment. That is the femoral nerve. Okay, and there is a flexor compartment. All the muscles in the flexor compartment is supplied by the nerve of that compartment. That is the sciatic nerve. And medial compartment, it is supplied by the obturator nerve. Each compartment has its own nerve, and the muscle supplied present in that compartment has to be supplied by that particular nerve. Femoral nerve for the extensor compartment, obturator nerve for the medial or adductor compartment, and the sciatic nerve for the posterior or the flexor compartment. Right? Now, first and the foremost thing, we have to identify the muscles in the first. If you take the extensor compartment, what you are seeing is the extensor compartment right here. Now, in this extensor compartment, there is a muscle called quadriceps femoris. So, first list the muscles. One is called quadriceps femoris. That means it is having four different parts. Quadriceps femoris has got four parts. So, you can see this is, when you see the quadriceps femoris, it has got rectus femoris. Vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis. All these four, we call this as a quadriceps femoris. Okay, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis, and rectus femoris. Together we call it as quadriceps femoris. That is one muscle, right? And second thing, we are also having another muscle in the anterior compartment or extensor compartment called sartorius. Sartorius. That is another muscle in the anterior compartment, sartorius muscle. Okay. And the third muscle which is present is called tensor fasciae lata. Tensor fasciae lata. Like these three muscles are there, quadriceps femoris with four different parts, okay, and sartorius and tensor fasciae lata. Now all these muscles are supplied by femoral nerve. Okay, all these muscles are supplied by the femoral nerve. Now what is important is, you have seen the skin covering the thigh region, right? Superficial fascia and deep fascia. Now the deep fascia in the thigh, whether it is medial, posterior or extensor compartment, is called fascia lata. L-A-T-A. Fascia lata, that is the deep fascia in the thigh. Okay? Now we have named these muscles. I will just show these muscles so that you can Now the quadriceps femoris, the four different parts of the quadriceps femoris, they join together and form a common tendon. Okay, they come from different sources of origin and they form a common tendon. So this tendon of quadriceps femoris is going to develop this bone, the knee cap. It is developed from the tendon of quadriceps femoris. So patella is the bone developed from the tendon of quadriceps femoris. Any bone developed by the tendon is called the sesamoid bone. Okay, patella is the largest sesamoid bone in the body, developed from the tendon of quadriceps femoris. Now, after forming the tendon, this patella bone, the quadriceps continues down as this ligament. You can see this ligament here is called ligamentum patellae or patellar ligament, and finally it is attached to this bony prominence. This is the tibia attached to the tibial tuberosity. Okay, these are all the quadriceps femoris muscle. Now you're seeing the quadriceps femoris here. This is the vastus medialis. This is vastus lateralis. In between this is the rectus femoris. This one. Vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, and this one in the center is the rectus femoris. When you go deep, rectus, here also I am showing this one. See here, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis is present here, and now this one is the vastus intermedius. We have removed the rectus femoris muscle here. Okay, going to see the vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis, vastus intermedius, vastus medialis muscle. Rectus femoris is the cut part of the rectus femoris here. See? And this is the muscle what we call tensor fascia lata. This is the thick fascia. Fascia lata becomes thick on the lateral side, and this thickening part of the fascia lata, what you are seeing here, is called iliotibial tract. Iliotibial tract. This is the thickened part of the fascia lata on the lateral side of the thigh, and it is called iliotibial tract. As you trace it down, you are going to see it because there is a few muscle fibers in the iliotibial tract, that is called tensor fascia lata. Okay. Now the iliotibial tract splits into two lamina here to enclose part of the gluteus maximus muscle. It splits to enclose the gluteus maximus muscle. Okay. Now I once again show the iliotibial tract here, right? It is splitting to enclose gluteus maximus, that is part of the deep fascia, and tensor fascia lata is also attached there. Vastus lateralis, vastus intermedius, and vastus medialis, and you are seeing the part of the rectus femoris muscle. And I want to show this muscle. Here you can clearly see this muscle here, what I am holding here, right? So this is called the sartorius muscle. Sartorius muscle. Now in this specimen, I am showing the rectus femoris muscle, vastus lateralis, and vastus intermedius is there. Right? Here you can see the sartorius muscle. Rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus intermedius, right? And sartorius muscle. Now all these muscles are supplied by the femoral nerve. Okay. Now we will see. This muscle main action is, you see the quadriceps tendon is there. When you do like this, the kicking action like this, okay, that is what the extension of the knee joint. So this is bringing the extension of the knee joint. All this muscle together brings extension of the knee joint. Now if somebody is not able to, if you ask somebody to kick the football, okay, if the person is unable to kick the football, what do you think? There is a damage to the quadriceps femoris, or the femoral nerve is damaged, right? That means a person cannot bring the extension of the knee joint, right? That is how we are to think that is where the muscle is damaged or which nerve is damaged, right? Then the sartorius muscle is the longest muscle in the body, measuring about 18 inches in length. Now, here is the bone which we call it as anterior superior iliac spine. This bony prominence is there, anterior superior iliac spine. From here, all the way the sartorius takes origin and inserted to the medial surface of the tibia. Okay. Now, this muscle, when it contracts, this has got a additional action. When it contracts, what is going to happen? It brings the flexion of the knee joint, flexion of the hip joint, both. It acts on the knee joint as well as hip joint. Sartorius muscle brings flexion of the hip joint, flexion of the knee joint, And imagine you're all sitting and you see the flexion of the knee joint when you're sitting. Now, in my sitting position, I will do like this. There is a flexion of the hip joint. There is a flexion of the knee joint. And I'm moving the thigh like this. That is called abduction and lateral rotation. Now, all this movement is brought by sartorius. I repeat, it brings flexion of the hip joint. See, this is the flexion of the hip joint. Look at this point. And this is the flexion of the knee joint. Right? And now the thigh I am going to move like this with the abduction and lateral rotation. All these movements are brought by the sartorius muscle. Okay? Now, we have seen this muscle here, and this is what is very important in front of this one, in the extensor compartment of the thigh. Apart from identifying the muscles, and you have to know the femoral nerve now. Now, what is important is, if you see the upper part of the front of the thigh, there is a triangular depression. In the upper part of the front of the thigh, there is a triangular depression. Very important clinically to see this area and to define the boundaries of this triangle. Now, this is the area in the upper part of the front, upper medial part of the front of the thigh. This is the triangular area, depressed area. This is called femoral triangle. Okay? Now, you have to define the boundaries and contents as well as clinical importance of the femoral triangle. Yes, sir.
Take a break.
I guess
Now, to see this one and femoral triangle. Now, this is the one very important thing to identify inguinal ligament. Okay, and you're seeing part of the sartorius here. Okay, I'm going to show the sartorius here again. You're seeing the sartorius, and this is the inguinal ligament. Okay, and there is a muscle. This is the muscle called adductor longus, belongs to medial compartment. Okay, now femoral triangle is bounded above. Base is found by the inguinal ligament. Lateral it is bounded by the sartorius muscle. Medial it is bounded by adductor longus. See this area, this area up to here. Now this is the femoral triangle. This area is the femoral triangle. This forceps, below the forceps, this muscle is the adductor longus. This is the sartorius muscle, and this is the inguinal ligament. Now skin, superficial fascia and deep fascia forms the roof. Okay, so laterally bounded by sartorius, medially bounded by adductor longus, and base is formed by the inguinal ligament. So, apex